Hey everyone, welcome back to Embroidery Tutorials. We are working on the last few stitches on my 90 variation chain stitch sampler, and if you would like to stitch along, learn a bunch, and create a beautiful abstract design, then head over to my Etsy shop to pick up your own pattern. That link is in the description. Today I have two rather random and lovely and fascinating stitches to share with you. Let's get started with some Russian chain. Now the base shape of Russian chain is 3 interlocked lazy daisies. So using the 4 sets of dots in the middle section of the 7th circle on the sampler, we will start by creating 2 lazy daisies that both end in the center dot. Then a third one that starts on this outer dot and wraps around those 2. That's it, simple as that. If you need to revisit the original lazy daisy stitch, I'll link that video in the corner. This 3-petal motif is perfectly lovely in itself and definitely has a use, but what's especially interesting about Russian chain is that it can be repeated to create a latticework looking pattern of lazy daisies. I haven't gone that far on this pattern, but I stitch up a little of the style on another hoop just to give you an example. Next up, we are going to go over a stitch I'm calling Gradient Petals, basically for lack of a better name. I believe this stitch was just recently invented. I first saw it maybe a year ago on Instagram, but I've been seeing it done more since then. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a name for it anywhere, and I'm not sure if it ever got one, so I'm definitely not claiming this as my own, but I did need some sort of label for it, hence Gradient Petals. For this stitch, you'll need a pin or pencil to wrap your thread around. We are using the pyramids I've marked out here, and I'm going to stitch 2 of these with a cotton pearl, and then do 2 more with 6 strands of embroidery floss just to show the difference. A bigger floss is definitely desirable here, but not necessary. Starting at the top of the pyramid, I'll just come up through the fabric on one side of the tip and back down on the other side, going over my pencil in order to hold the loop over the fabric. Work your way down the pyramid with more stitches going over the pencil. You can pack these together if you want, but I'm leaving just a little space between each stitch so that the end result isn't too bulky. Once you near the end of the pyramid, carefully slide your pencil out from under the loops, then come up at the base. Pull very gently here because you don't want to start tightening that final loop. Slide your needle all the way through this archway of loops, and then come over the top and go back down through the fabric, again pulling gently until it's tight so you don't lose any of the volume of the loops themselves. You can even out the sides with the tip of the needle or your fingernail, and there you go. It makes this great petal or fern looking shape. Love it. And that's all for today. We only have 5 more variations to go before we are done with this sampler. It's been a long time of making tutorial videos, so yeah, I could use a little break. I hope you've all enjoyed following along so far, and I certainly hope you will join me for the final 5 stitches as well. Thanks so much for watching.